Hello friends, I am Krishna Kanjani from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the online lecture series on kinematics and theory of machine. In this session, we will learn about graphical synthesis. In previous session, we have learned about the basic introductory session of synthesis. Okay, so let's start with this session. So the first word, that is synthesis. Now synthesis means the designing of a new mechanism or a machine to get the desired output. Okay, so the synthesis process can be divided in different types like this. For example, we want to design any new mechanism, then we can do it either by graphical method or by analytical method. So in this way we can divide this this process into mainly two types, that is graphical and analytical method. I have prepared one video on the which is covering about the analytical method of synthesis, and in which we have learned about the Froudenstein equation. Okay, so in this session we will learn about graphical synthesis. Now analytical method sometimes consumes more time and it is quite complicated to solve the numerical. So in that case we can prefer graphical method to design any mechanism. Okay, now this graphical synthesis is divided in mainly two types, that is inversion method and relative pole method. Okay, now with the help of this inversion and relative pole method, we are mainly preferred to analyze synthesize mainly two types of mechanisms, that is 4-bar mechanism and slinger slider mechanism, or we can say slider mechanism. Okay, now inversion and relative pole, both the methods can be used to design 4-bar and slider crank. So we can further divide this inversion into inversion of 4-bar as well as inversion of slider crank. Similarly, relative pole mechanism for 4-bar as well as relative pole mechanism for slider crank mechanism. Okay, further these methods are divided into mainly two types, that is 2-position synthesis and 3-position synthesis. Similarly, slider crank can be done by 2 position and 3 positions. So in such a way, but the overall classification, if you focus, then synthesis is mainly classified into two categories, that is graphical and analytical. And in graphical, they are mainly classified into two categories, that is inversion method and relative pole method. Okay, in this session we will focus about relative pole method. Okay, so let's start with the relative pole method. So the first thing that comes in our mind, that relative pole, it means we have to identify some fixation point about which the mechanism is assumed to be rotating. Okay, let's consider one example. If we consider a 4-bar mechanism, okay, let's consider a 4-bar mechanism which is having initial position like this, that it is made up of mainly 4 links. Let's consider A, B, C, D, or we can say 4 links are assumed to be position like this. Okay, now the second position, if we assume that if after some time it reaches to its second position, which is like this, or we can say let's consider a 90-degree rotation. So after some rotation it will move like this, and similarly your link number 2 will be reaching to this position, and due to this position link number 3 will move from its position, let's consider like this, and due to that your link number 4 will be positioned like this. Okay, so now if we assume that this link number 3, which is, if we find out that about which point we can assume this the motion of link number 3, then we can simply consider that if we rotate, if we draw midpoint of this first to second position, and similarly if we plot out midpoint of its final position, such like if we consider C and C1 point. So if we rotate this like if we rotate this link, then the midpoint will give us the interpoint like this. So this point can be assumed to be a center point about which the whole link number 3 is rotating. Okay, and that's why we can say it is a relative pole or a fixed point. Okay, let's consider this figure properly. So if we consider that it is the initial position, if we notify the initial position as AB1 to AB2, it is rotating with this angle. So the first position to second position movement is notified as theta 1 2. Okay, here you need to remember this notations also. So if we consider that input link is rotating from its first position to second position, then the angle between this first to second position is termed as theta 1 2. And due to this theta 1 2 input, your output link, let us consider as C1D link. This C1D is rotating to its C2D position. Okay, so over here its initial angle, which is known as a output angle phi, is moving from its first position to second position, that is phi 1 2. Okay, so if we use this type of notation, that is 1 2 defines that the input angle motion from 1 to 2. Similarly, phi 1 2 defines the output link motion from angle 1 to 2. Okay, so now if we want to find out the fixed point about which we can consider this B1 C1 link to be rotating, if we want to identify the center point for this link rotation, then we can simply consider B1 to B2, take perpendicular from that point, and similarly C1 to C2, take perpendicular from its midpoint. So this intersection will give us the point. Okay, and we can assume that link number, if you consider this one as link number 3, if we consider this one as link number 3, okay, so B1 C1. Okay, so this B1 C1 link can be assumed to be rotated about this P point. Okay, so this P is known as a relative pole. Okay, so simply we can say that when a body or a link in a mechanism move from its first position to another position, and it is desired to guide the position that how it is occurring, then such task can be fulfilled by simply considering that the rotation of the link about any fixed point, which is known as a pole. So over here we can identify that how we can guide this motion, then we can simply consider that it is pure rotation, and to identify the center of this pure rotation, we can consider this one as your pole point. Okay, so in this way we can design various 4-bar mechanism, or with the same route we can also design single slider mechanism. Okay, now this relative pole method is mainly divided into two types, that is 2-position synthesis and 3-position synthesis. Now 2-position synthesis, it means that we are familiar with various 2-position of a mechanism. Okay, so let's consider over here. So for this condition, if we consider that in this consideration, we have in this diagram we have considered that the position from B1 to B2, so that we have two positions different. Initially it is at B1 position, then it moves to B2 position. Okay, now and with the help of these two positions, we are designing, or we can calculate the length of the other two elements. Okay, similarly in some of the numericals we practice that we will consider 3 positions. So in that case we will having the data is somewhat like that. We have 3 different positions of crank. Over here we can consider that B1, B2 and B3. All these 3 positions are given, and with the help of these 3 positions we will calculate the length of different other elements. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is 2-position synthesis method. First we will learn for 4-bar chain mechanism, and then we will learn for the single slider mechanism in our next session. Okay, so let's start this session with the 2-position synthesis of 4-bar chain mechanism. Okay, so in this designing procedure we are considering that we have initial data such that length of first link, length of second link, input link angle theta, that is initial position of your input link, or we can say crank, and theta 1 2. Okay, similarly for output link it is given as phi and phi 1. Okay, so we have 2 different positions, theta and theta 1 2, phi and phi 1 2, which is representing the position of input and output. Okay, so how we can start, and we have to find out the length of the rest of the 2 links. Okay, so over here we can start with the first input data, that is length of link 1 is given. Okay, so let's consider this one as your length of link 1. Okay, this line is representing link number 1. Okay, so let's consider this one as a notation as A and D point. Now the next data that we will use, that in this case they have given the input positions theta 12 and phi 12. Okay, so let's consider that theta 12 is your input crank angle. So over here you have to assume that if you consider this one as a reference line, so with reference to this vertical line you have to plot an inclined line which is making an angle of theta 12. Okay, so that is simply defining the position of link number position number 1 and 2. So over here you have to consider this angle as theta 12 by 2. Okay, so this one is representing your theta 12 by 2 angle. So if they have given that theta 12, if they have given as 40 degree, or let's consider they have given as 90 degree. Okay, 12 position is 90. So over here theta 12 by 2, that means 90 by 2. So you over here you have to plot line at 45 degree. Okay, and this line will be represented by dash lines. Okay, similarly other data is given for output link. So let's consider output link as a phi 12. Okay, the similar procedure you have to follow, that if the phi 12 is given as for example 50, so you have to consider phi 12 by 2, that is 50 by 2, and this length is measured with respect to this inclined line, this base horizontal line. Okay, so over here if you consider this one as your phi 12 by 2. Okay, so now you have to draw other dash line which is intersecting with this dash line at point P. So this one is known as a pole point, or we can say fixation point. So pole 1, 2. Okay, that is for position number 1 to 2. Okay, now the other data which is remaining is theta and phi. Okay, so now they have given length number 2. Okay, so we will draw link number 2, that is length number 2 at angle theta. So now plot link number 2 that is having length 2 at angle theta. So over here we can consider, okay, so if you consider this one as your input link, so crank, so if you consider this one as theta angle, then you can sketch AB line at theta angle which is representing length number 2. Okay, now after plotting this L1 and L2, now you have to connect this B point with your pole point like this. Okay, so now this input angle, this angle is for pole 1, 2. Now other data they have given, the last data which is remain to be plotted is phi, that is input angle, or sorry, output link angle. So over here at phi angle you can plot a line, but length of link number 4 is not given. Okay, so let's consider that at angle phi we can plot this dash line which is representation of link number 4. Okay, so now you have the input pole angle P12 over here. Okay, so take this P12 angle over here, this pole angle as your reference angle, and the same with the same angle, if you consider this one as angle alpha. Okay, so with the same angle alpha you have to plot one line by taking this B point and P12, or we can say P12 B point as your reference, and over here you have to plot one line at angle alpha. Okay, so this line will be reaching like this. Okay, so this intersection of two lines will give us the final point C on our 4-bar link. Okay, so simply now if you join this B point to C point and C to your initial position, so this is a simple length of link number 3 and link number 4. So in this way you can plot two position synthesis of 4-bar mechanism, or we can say, so in this way by considering this much data we can calculate the length of link number 3. Over here we have found out the length of link number 3 and link number 4. Okay, so let's quickly revise it so that you can easily understand and you can sketch while you're giving your examination. So over here again let's quickly revise. For input link L1 is given, so let's consider first draw a horizontal line which is a fixation link. We consider this one is your link number 1 L1. Now take first theta 12 angle. So with theta 12 by 2 angle, take this horizontal line as a reference and take angle theta 12 by 2 in clockwise direction. Over here your input link is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, that's why we have considered it in clockwise. If it is in clockwise, if it is vice versa, then we have to assume we have to consider the theta 12 in upper side also. Okay, now similarly after plotting theta 12 by 2 angle, we don't know the position of P initially. Okay, so now similarly from point D horizontal line, again you have to put phi 12 as your reference. So phi 12 by 2. Okay, take this angle as your reference angle with horizontal, and this intersection line will give you point P, that is pole point for position 1 and 2. Okay, measure this angle for your reference if you consider this one as your alpha angle. Now input link L2 is also given with angle theta. Okay, so plot L2 link at theta angle. Similarly phi angle is given but length is not given. Okay, so next one is as at phi angle plot one dash line. Okay, now with respect to this joining point of pole to your B point, now consider alpha as your reference. Same alpha angle and this intersection will give you position of point C. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the length of link number 3 and link number 4. Okay, so this is the simple method, that is two position synthesis of 4-bar mechanism. In next session we will learn 3 position synthesis of 4-bar mechanism and various 2 position and 3 position for single slider mechanism. Thank you.